Fresh to New Zealand is the range of QuietKat E-Bikes. These are designed in the US with hunters, anglers, farmers and outdoor enthusiasts in mind who want to explore the backcountry with the capability of carrying some heavy loads. This sees the bikes incorporate a heavy-duty build quality, all based around powerful 1000 watt motors, considerable suspension travel, and with 4.5-inch fat tyres that are going to soak up any undulating terrain, along with a range of accessories like cargo baskets and 2 trailer options that are going to help you carry your gear around in the field and the likes of that harvested game meat back to the vehicle. With 3 main models available here in New Zealand, your first option to consider is the Ranger, a capable rear hub driven bike utilising a 1000 watt motor, 16 amp battery with a range of 38 kilometres unassisted or 77 kilometres assisted, a 7-speed drivetrain, 100mm coil suspension forks, 2 piston hydraulic disc brakes, amassing to a weight of 29.5 kilos. The Ranger is the slightly lower priced and more entry-level model, but it still utilises that powerful 1000 watt motor, and from our own testing it still gets you everywhere you need to go. It can carry those heavy loads, but without some of the nice features and luxuries that these other 2 bikes possess. Next up is the great all-rounder, the Apex Sport. This bike uses the 1000 watt mid-drive motor, a 16 amp battery, giving it a range of 38 kilometres unassisted or 77 kilometres assisted, an 8-speed drivetrain, 100mm air suspension forks, 2 piston hydraulic disc brakes, a more functional LCD display screen with 3 main modes to choose from, Eco, Trail and Boost, with a weight of 31.8 kilos. The Apex Sport was a bit of a favourite amongst all of us who used it. For its middle of the range price, it offers great features and functionality and really good power distribution when you're using it out in the field. And your top of the range full spec bike to consider is the Apex Pro. This uses the 1000 watt mid-drive motor with a 17.25 amp battery, giving the highest range of 46 kilometres unassisted or 83 kilometres assisted, a 9-speed drivetrain, large 140mm inverted suspension forks, 4 piston hydraulic disc brakes, and it's got a great LCD screen with the most power options and speed levels to select from. And with all those extra features, this bike comes in slightly heavier at 32.4 kilos. The Apex Pro is what I've personally been riding for the last 6 months across a range of different trips. Usually I've been carrying a heavy backpack and I've found it to be powerful, and that greater suspension travel has just really softened the ride too. There's 2 trailer options to consider. The first is the single wheel all-terrain cargo trailer designed for those tighter single tracks, and also the 2-wheel all-terrain game trailer. Both of these have a 45 kilogram load capacity and use 4-inch fat tyres to help with that uneven ground you often find yourself riding in the backcountry. These trailers were probably that unique feature that drew us to the QuietKat bikes in the first place. They do limit the sort of terrain you can take the bikes, but the beauty of them is you can get the weight off you, whether that be your backpack, your equipment, or even your harvested game meat. You can load up the trailers, and it makes for a far easier and more comfortable ride back out. It's worth pointing out that on public conservation land here in New Zealand, you're only allowed e-bikes 300 watt and below on bike tracks and cycleways, with the QuietKat's 1000 watt motor technically classifying them as a motorised vehicle under NZTA guidelines. This means that on our public lands, you're only permitted to use them where vehicle access is also allowed. We've found the main point of difference of the QuietKats is their heavy duty and rugged build quality, their powerful 1000 watt motors that drive their fat 4.5-inch tyres. These are a game changer off-road and just really soften and smoothen that ride. The actual distance range you can expect to get from a single charge of the battery can vary considerably depending on the weight the bike's carrying, the temperature, the steepness and type of terrain you're tackling, and of course the power and speed levels you opt for, along with how much pedal assist you give it. But even in the most testing conditions, you can expect to travel over 20 kilometres of distance off a single charge. If you're a hunter, farmer or any type of outdoor user, these QuietKat bikes are seriously fun and could make your next adventure just that little bit easier. So if you want to learn more about these bikes and their accessories, hop online to quietkatnz.com.